Good morning and welcome back to another video, and today is the weekly highlight. Now just stick around and enjoy the video. Okay, so today is the weekly highlight, and today, instead of covering anything Shadowlandsy or the professions, as I'm still digging through the data files at this moment in time, trying to bring you guys probably the best stuff, we are going to be doing a Q&A. Now, I messaged everyone yesterday on the Discord, and pretty much we have gained quite a few questions. And these questions will all be related to gold making or gold farming in general, and we're going to answer these. So that being the case, let's get into question one. Now, coming from question one is from Ursok, and that is, I finally made it to halfway point and I'm burnt out. Any advice to make things fresh? What kind of farms do you enjoy doing? And everything else feels monotonous. Okay, so you are pretty much at 2.5 million gold, and that's pretty damn awesome. Well done. You are halfway to your Bruto sword. Now, the next thing that I would say is you're burnt out. So at this moment in time, judging by what you commented, is I don't know what you actually were doing previously. I'm guessing that you were doing gathering if you were burnt out, because that sounds like something someone who has been farming a lot has done. So that being the case, if you are pretty much just farming out materials and all that stuff, yes, you do get burnt out every now and then. This is why I usually would like supplement this with something else. So I will go do professions instead of that. So bringing onto that, why don't you utilize your professions a little bit? Judging by what I've seen at this moment in time, cooking is doing very well. You are selling an insane amount of stuff, and if you set up your crafting stuff, which I do plan on doing a few videos about TSM and getting yourself set up with crafting, then it was basically just a daily ritual of just you logging on and starting to craft stuff. So you could start utilizing your professions a bit more. Cooking's obviously a good one because it's a secondary profession and everyone can have it, and it's really easy to get a hold of all of the crafting parts to that, so definitely worthwhile doing. Still probably got at least around about 5 more months, so at the end of the day, don't worry so much. Why don't you just take the pace a little bit slower, so to speak. At the end of the day, I love to drive home that we got to get the gold and we got to get it now, but don't beat yourself up too much. I know that everyone really wants to get hold of their Brutosaur and they want it like pretty much now. It does take a while to get enough gold to get your Brutosaur, and you can get burnt out, which you're saying that you are, and everything feels monotonous. So let's just switch it up. Switch up with doing professions, or even try doing some raid farming instead of just standard gathering. Now, the best ones that I can think of off the top of my head is AQ40 for the battle pet, for the Viscidus globule. All you need is elemental force on that one, and it's basically it's a cakewalk. You just run in, kill Viscidus, and see if you can get it. Next thing is Squirt Day. Squirt Day's up in a few more days or something along those lines. I think it's a few more days or a week. Can't really remember too much. But in your garrison, if you have your menagerie set up, you can pretty much just level pets continuously like crazy. So if you really wanted to, you could buy out a load of Ickies and a load of Twilight Clutch Sisters, and then just level them to 25 and sell them for the level 25 price. That's an easier way to make some gold off the bat when you're doing all that stuff. So battle pets, that's a good way of making some gold. Not the most ideal at this moment in time, but if you are pretty much burnt out on gathering, then that's what I would probably suggest. So hang in there, mate, and if you have any problems, you feel free to message me on the Discord. However, anyone's free to message me on the Discord. It just may take a while for me to answer back because I get quite a few. But other than that, guys, that is question number 1. Hopefully I answered that for you. Now, coming in at number 2 is Mythical Rain 227. That is at DalaGG. For the AMA, besides mining and herbalism. So, okay, so what you're saying is, what is the best profession besides mining and herbalism for money making on the AH? For the auction house, at this moment in time, it's anything to do with like Inscription, dual crafting. Dual crafting is a very good one actually. If you are on a medium pop server, you can usually flip the mats really, really easily. Aside from that, other professions, blacksmithing is a good one. A very good one to actually get in on. And that's pretty damn good overall. Why not, if you are using mining and herbalism quite a bit, why don't you just utilize your fishing a little bit? Fishing's really, really easy. You can pretty much be semi-AFK and just watch like Netflix or Disney Plus or whatever everyone wants to watch. Just binge watch stuff and fish, and just have like one headphone in, listening out for the bobber, and just watch a TV show or something. That's another way of doing it. But at this moment in time, you said best one on the AH at this moment in time. I wouldn't say alchemy because it's highly competitive, and not a lot of people are willing to cancel quick scan literally as soon as they've just posted. So I'd probably stay clear of that at this moment in time, and just focus on anything that crafts gear. And to be honest, just go with dual crafting. Dual crafting is a good one. That's probably a safe bet for you. But be prepared if you do want to get into like panther mounts and stuff. They probably won't be profitable for you if you are on a high pop server. Now, coming in at number 3, I cannot pronounce your name. It's Oryx or Onyx, or I don't know. I can't make it out. How do you motivate yourself to make gold? Like, I really want to make gold, but I keep finding myself barely trying. UK, what I mean. I keep saying I want to do this farm and that farm and whatnot, but easily get sidetracked and go back to something else. Okay. So you are struggling with being motivated to make gold. Well, why are you making gold? Are you trying to get hold of the Brutosaur, or are you trying to get gold cap, or are you just trying to pay for your monthly sub? All these are pretty good like factors to want to make gold. If you just want to get rich, it's I would suggest setting yourself a goal for making gold. That usually helps me. That's why I do like these challenges. Like at this moment in time, I say that I'm doing the gold cap challenge at this moment, and at this moment in time, it's mainly just getting all prepped and set up. For me, it's more along the lines of I'm making casual gold, but as soon as Shadowlands hits, that's when I'm going to pretty much make gold cap, because everything's new. I can utilize professions, so I'm trying to learn as much as I can and get myself set up before then. And that's basically what I'm doing. I'm spending like the next 5 months making somewhat pretty good gold, and then I'm going to just go completely nuts on all of that, because I've managed to take some time off for when Shadowlands actually gets released. I take immediate. I'm taking like 2 weeks off, possibly 3 weeks maybe, but from work, because I just haven't taken any holiday this year. So that's what I'm going to be doing. But I'm getting sidetracked now, just like what you said, you're getting sidetracked. Basically, if you set yourself a goal and then you're probably doing something that you don't want to do. So if it's a gathering profession, I wouldn't recommend it. If you're saying that I want to do this farm because you said I really want to make gold, but I keep finding barely all that stuff, and you want to go do this farm, well, why not do that farm? If you really don't want to, if you're really getting sidetracked and you just don't want to do it, then just pick something else. It just makes more sense. Because even if you pick something that has a lower gold per hour, but you are motivated to do that over and over again, then you're going to make more gold than you would just trying to get yourself into farming that one particular thing. So it's just worth it overall to just pick something that you would enjoy and then do that, because you'll probably be doing a lot of it. So I usually go with something that I want to do or something I want to enjoy. So that's why I'm going to start trying to do more group farms with everybody, because I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was pretty fun. So do something you enjoy and then do a lot of it. Okay, so the next question is from Subtle Subteletti. Okay, I can't pronounce that. At DellaGG, what do you think will happen with Sky Golems in Shadowlands, and how gold scaling will impact crafting them? Okay, so with the gold scaling towards Shadowlands, Every X pack after Mop has seen a increase and decrease in a lot of the separate items. So at this moment in time, everyone's in the Vale or in Uldum, and a lot of the material prices are actually going down. This is because a lot more people are there and they're picking more of that herb or ore or all that stuff. And predominantly for Sky Golems, it is required to use Trillium bars in order to make your living steel. And pretty much it's a lot cheaper to make your Sky Golem at this moment in time. Now, we should see a increase as when everybody moves over to Shadowlands, we should see a slight increase on Ghost Iron ore. But remember that Ghost Iron ore is one of the most easiest and the most reliable gold farms to do, even though it's a really low gold per hour for Ghost Iron ore because of the map, how easy it is to gather up a load of Ghost Iron ore. But the one thing that you may want to bear in mind is with the Sky Golem, you'll probably see a slight rise in how much it will cost you to make a Sky Golem, but probably not overly that much because over the time it's not been that high overall. So what I would recommend is go on the Undermine journal, look at the graphs for how it's been fluctuating over the years, and then make a decision based off of that, because Shadowlands looks like it's going to be a similar one to Legion, like growth wise, and I would try and go with that metric on how much it was costing back then, and then go with that, because not many people are going to be in the Vale of Eternal Blossoms as soon as Shadowlands hits. So you should see an increase in how much the Sky Golem will be worth. Okay, so the next question is from SNAWP. So that being the case, at $GG, is it worth to multi-box? How many hours a month do you need to farm before it's worth? And how many accounts would you recommend for a noob? By the way, I don't like multi-boxing. I think it's completely annoying and I prefer the other way, but Blizzard allow it, so what can I do? Personally, I'm a solo gold farmer or group farmer as well. I group with other people and farm, so we all make gold together. Personally, I wouldn't do multi-boxing for myself because you're paying for two separate accounts, and that means you've got to get the same token to keep the accounts running. So you've got to make more gold because you've got those other accounts running, and that means we'll just value the token at like 100,000 gold. We'll just say that, make it easy. 100,000 gold for the token, and that means you've got to get 200,000 gold every month at a bare minimum to keep those accounts running. And pretty much at this moment in time, if you want to do multi-boxing, you can also pay with your real life money, but at the end of the day, I find it to not be worth it. I wouldn't recommend it, but that's my personal opinion on multi-boxing. I do not endorse it. Okay, so the next question is from Slick Rick. Hey Slick Rick. At DalaGG, on your last video, you talked about the skinning farm, doing it with a partner. How do you do it? One pulls, the other kills, and how did you split the gold up? One gets all of the loot and the other gets to skin, and why is it better than solo? Okay, cool. Now, by the way, with this farm, one person's going to get the skins and loot, and the other person's just going to get loot. So what I would prefer to do with that method is pretty much you're both going to get shared loot on that. You're going to get some BOEs, you're going to get a load of greens that you can disenchant and all that stuff. The person that's actually going to be helping you and the other person that's going to be skinning, then one of them's going to make more gold than the other. There's no sugarcoating around it. But if you're with your friend and one of them skins for 1 hour, you do it with that, and then the next person the second hour, it usually would work. It's better than solo if you two can work together. That is the entire premise. If you can actually work with someone else, so if you do 2 hours each and one hour you skin and the other hour they skin, then it's a fair deal. If you've got someone that just wants the raw gold and the loot, that's even better, because then you can skin and loot plus they can do all of that. And if you wanted to be a fair player, then you could obviously give them some of your raw gold going along with that. But I know a lot of greedy goblins that just want to do it like that. But some people just like to do the loot and all that stuff. So obviously it's going to be a little lopsided who's skinning, and the person who's going to be skinning more is going to be getting a lot more gold, obviously. And the other person will just be getting the raw gold or the enchanting materials, so to speak. So it just really depends if you can work together with someone else and do a fair share of everything. So that's basically how it works. Overall, it is better than solo because you get more loot with 2 people, and if you're more than willing to help each other out, you'll be getting more gold overall. But if you're doing it on your own, it's still pretty okay. But just remember that you're going to have to do all of the work instead of just some, because when you're trying to pull and kill things, you're trying to do that consistently and skin at the exact same time, which is very difficult to do. Okay, coming in at number 7 from one of my chat mods. How much would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck would? 42. And the next one is from Kles. Is there any good money makers with leatherworking? Yes, all of the drums. Drums of the Maelstrom and drums of War are pretty good. You can sell those on the auction house, and all of the uncanny gear, surprisingly enough. They're very good money makers at this moment in time. I don't know about lower pop rounds and medium pop, but I know for high pop they sell pretty well. And when it comes to leatherworking, basically making those bladders, if you just make the bladders and then just sell those, dredge leather bladders, they're pretty damn good. They sell really, really fast, and even if you farmed all of the mats yourself, you still make a large chunk of gold in a lot less time. So that's pretty damn good. Coming in for our second to last question, and that is Scumbag Blues. What's a hidden gem that makes you a surprising amount of gold? For example, mine is Swamp Blasters. I sell about 5 a week for 3 to 5k each. Hey, that's pretty cool. I didn't know that. That's actually pretty damn awesome. Yes, actually, the Mote Extractor. Basically, you get a recipe from one of the Cenarian Circle in Zangarmarsh, if I remember right, because I've had this recipe for so long I can't remember where it actually is. But it's the Mote Extractor. If you can make those and usually sell them for like 5-10k on the auction house, and people do buy them because they're a low engineering craft and it's basically just easy gold. I find that to be a very good one. And other than that, still the frozen orb flip, it works, and that's pretty much it. But that's my hidden gem, is the Mote Extractor on engineering. Now, coming in at last on our list is It's Wiz. Would you coach someone on how to make gold on their server, i.e. take a look at their server's AH and give them specific items they can craft / farm on their server to best make gold, and possibly check in on their server to update them from time to time? Maybe the people you coach could pay you for your service. No, I will not be coaching people for money. I don't think that's ethical to do that. So if you could probably just message me and I could try and help you overall. But at the end of the day, I will not coach someone for real life money to make virtual money in a game. It just doesn't seem right to me. Yeah, not my cup of tea. But if you want to make some gold, you could download Worth It. That's the entire premise of why that's the entire premise of why I actually started the add-on, because you can just set up TSM and download Worth It, open up Worth It, and check which farm is the most profitable on your realm, and just go do that, and you can make a lot of gold just through gathering. But if you want to make a lot of gold through a specific profession, I would suggest going over to Samadam. His groups and all of that stuff is all on his paste bin, and they're really damn awesome. The other one that's a really good resource for you is the Lazy Goldmaker. He has a blog where he posts about all this different types of stuff, and he does loads of TSM stuff as well that I don't even touch because I don't want to lose any gold. But aside from that, yeah, I won't coach for someone. But you can ask me a question and I'll give you the answer to it. But just remember, I won't do your research for you. But I do plan on doing how to do your own research as a video in the upcoming days, as well as a TSM breakdown guide. So hopefully we can answer all of these questions that you want to know in the next few days after this. So as from Thursday, I would say, at the latest, I would start those videos on how to analyze your market, how to start with TSM, and then just follow that and then you should be fine. But other than that, just ask me a question if you've got a question to ask. But other than that, guys, that is pretty much the weekly highlight for the week. I thought this would be really awesome to answer a few questions because we've been growing really, really rapidly at this moment in time. We hit like 15,000 subs in like 7 days, 1,000 subs. That was insane. That was an insane week, and that was just the week just been. So, damn. Other than that, just a standard video of me just being myself and just answering the questions for you. Hope you enjoyed it, and I shall see you in the next video, which will be tomorrow.